Hello, friends. During the morning of July 8th, a long-range Mosquito FP-1 calmly carried out an observation circuit over the facilities of a refinery in Nizhny-Kinsk, Republic of Tatarstan, Russia, about 1,400 kilometers from the front line, to determine the exact point where sanctions should be applied to Ivan. According to reports from local Russian media, the FP-1 drones struck the Teniko complex of Tatneft and the Taif NK refinery, causing multiple fires. The workers, most of whom are Central Asians, calmly observe the situation, while in the background there is no sound of any anti-aircraft defenses, missiles, cannons, nothing, not even rifle fire. Certainly everything is going according to plan. On the diplomatic front, President Zelensky met with Agent Orange at the NATO conference in Ankara, where they had the following dialogue. Trump. Putin told me he would love to meet with us in Moscow. I'm not sure if Zelensky would go to Moscow. Maybe he would. Would you be willing to go to Moscow?
Yeah, maybe he would. Would you go to
Zelensky. It's hard right now because there are many Ukrainian drones there. It's quite dangerous. The group of journalists burst out laughing. In my case, I almost fell out of my chair from laughing. Zelensky is a genius. 100 aura. The fighting is intensifying around Crimea, as evidenced by this incursion on the morning of July 80, when a CC-baby naval drone from the Security Service of Ukraine struck the engine room of the Russian tanker Blue, which was sailing in the Black Sea near Yalta, but within Ukraine's exclusive economic zone. A Russian naval aviation fighter jet tried to intercept the drone with missiles and cannon fire, but failed. The impact of the CC-baby caused significant damage, leaving the vessel without propulsion and adrift, which was confirmed by the position data from the ICE system. The Blue is a tanker built in 2003 and is capable of carrying around 1 million barrels of crude oil. It is part of the Z Shadow fleet, which is sanctioned by the international community. On July 1st, the Unmanned Systems Forces carried out a successful test launch of Powerus Guardian 1 anti-drone interceptors from an unmanned catamaran-type surface vehicle, which operates as a mobile mothership platform for these systems. The vessel carries 6 launch containers that protect the interceptors until the moment they are to be used, taking off vertically to begin their mission. The catamaran design aims to take advantage of the stability provided by the 2 hulls and its wide deck, which allows it to carry a significantly larger payload than traditional single-hull naval drones. Developed by the American company Powerus, the Guardian 1 is a portable interceptor that weighs only 2.6 kilograms and is specifically designed to neutralize Russian attack drones of the Shahed type. The Mosquito features radar-assisted target designation combined with camera-guided visual acquisition for direct kinetic interceptions. The company has indicated that it currently manufactures 1,000 units per month and could increase its production to 5,000. The goal of this combined system is to provide the Navy with a platform capable of engaging Shahed drones flying to Ukraine from Crimea out at sea. These catamarans could deploy a significant number of interceptors from a mobile maritime platform, creating a flexible defensive network that can change position if necessary to neutralize threats from different directions. This project demonstrates the growing technological collaboration between the United States, Ukraine, and the company Powerhouse, led by veterans of the United States Army Special Forces, and whose products have proven themselves in combat during Ukraine's defense, which has led the United States Air Force to also begin acquiring them in large quantities. On the air front, the influential Z-Mil blogger Kirill Fedorov confirmed the destruction of an advanced air superiority fighter bomber of the Russian Air Force, which was systematically cornered in a coordinated engagement involving a formation of 3 Ukrainian fighter jets, including at least 1 F-16 fighter, which were operating in close coordination with a Patriot air defense battery that had been deployed on the front line and could be responsible for the shootdown. Apparently, the Ukrainian jets cornered the Russian fighter, pushing it to where the Patriot was waiting for it. When it got to a distance where it couldn't escape, the Patriot turned on its radar and launched its missiles, at least one of which hit Ivan the pilot. Although the Russian pilot managed to eject and survive, this confrontation marks an important milestone as one of the first air victories using complex multi-domain tactics by Ukraine involving Western platforms. The moment the Russian plane went down was observed by a reconnaissance drone from the 3rd Azov Army Corps. It should be clear that the destruction of a Su-35S is not that serious, since Mordor keeps the production line of this aircraft active, and the fleet of this model has not suffered significant wear during the war. However, the strategic balance in the airspace is changing, so the air dominance that Moscow's aviation has maintained since the beginning of the war is eroding rapidly. This process will become even more serious when additional Western fighters, F-16s and Gripens, arrive, the latter armed with state-of-the-art Meteor air-to-air missiles capable of reaching targets at distances greater than 200 kilometers. This is the 9th Su-35S lost by the invaders, each of which costs $100 million. As consolation for the Russophiles, at least this Su-35S did not crash into residential buildings, like this one that crashed in Irkutsk. On the sanctions front against Russia's oil industry, operations continue as unmanned systems operators carried out a nighttime attack in the early hours of July 80 against the Saratov oil refinery and against the Borisoglebsk military airfield in the Voronezh Oblast. The units used long-range Firepoint FP-1 attack drones which caused fires both at the refinery and at the airfield. The Saratov refinery, operated by Rosneft, processes around 7 million tons of crude oil per year and produces gasoline, diesel, fuel oil, and aviation fuel, which supplies both the civilian market and the military operations of the invaders. The Borisoglebsk airfield is the base for Su-34 fullback fighter bombers, Su-35S Flanker E, and Su-30 SM Flanker C, which are used for training new pilots, but are also continuously used in attacks against Ukrainian territory. Satellite images show that on July 7th, just before the incursion, Ivan had 7 Su-35 fighter bombers, 8 Yak-130 training aircraft, and 3 Mil-Mi-8 helicopters. These attacks reduce Russia's already strained fuel refining capacity and limit the ability of the invading air force to launch glide bomb attacks against Ukrainian units. According to data from NASA's firm satellites, something is burning furiously in the parking area of the runway. While I was writing about the attack on the refinery, I was thinking it would be a good business to export alfalfa to Mordor, because come on, all those horses and donkeys are going to need something to eat. An unexpected problem for the defenders on the front line is that they have to start making their trenches deeper, because they're filling up with shell casings from all the bullets they're using. They use them to give a hearty dose of hospitality to any invaders who come near. If you'd like more content about the war in Ukraine, visit our 2 new channels for information in a different format. Be sure to check them out. Remember to visit our Patreon, where for just $1, you'll have access to a large number of uncensored videos and documentaries. Remember to like and subscribe to the channel